Welcome, listeners, to Just Neapolitan. This week we are two, with Maggie and your resident hat guy, Bryan.
Hat guy. Hi, hat
I'm
guy.
a hat guy. Hi, Maggie. Hey, we could be like a morning DJ show. Maggie and the Hat Guy. ZW something something.
101.12.
And then have to be like, wow, boop, 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 boop. Uh-oh.
No, not that. No.
Oh, because it's a morning show. It's got to have stupid sound effects for no reason.
Trying to keep everyone on their toes while also waking them up.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that what they're doing?
Well, I don't think they really know what they're doing either, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, right? Radio's failing and podcasts are...
I was going to say, I haven't listened to the radio in probably at this point years. So
because you're not 80 years old.
Yes. And also I don't drive a car. And I feel like the only time I would ever listen to the radio, even growing up, was in the car. So
yeah, we did that too until we got a CD player in the car. Well, okay. You know, I lie. It was a tape deck first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, that's my age.
Cries in old.
Yep, it's true. I'm going to be 40 this year.
Oh my goodness, Bryan, that's crazy.
I know. It's even crazier that I decided to say that into a mic. I paused for a half second to be like, am I going to do this? And I was like, who fucking cares? Yes, I am.
It's okay. I just turned 27. There, now we're now we're both.
Yeah. Oh, we're even now, huh? Okay. If you say so.
Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. So just got to do the ad real quick.
Oh, we love ads.
We do. This pod is brought to you by BDED. It make you a small pee-pee, big pee-pee.
Oh.
That was it.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's the whole
ad. Thing. Yeah. I did
straight
longer
to the
ones.
Point.
I did longer ones earlier. It's a throwback.
Really?
Yeah, I have an idea for a new one, but I didn't write it yet.
We'll get there. I mean, that's the whole point of ads, right? Like, you have to captivate the audience as quickly as possible and tell them what you're selling, and then boom, you're done.
Well, also that's like an ad thing too, where you have the longer form ads, and then you're like, oh, everyone's seen that 30-second ad. Now it's a 10-second ad.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my response is, why wasn't that a 10-second ad to start with?
Well, and I feel like over time, now we're just going down a rabbit hole, but I feel like over time, obviously our attention spans have gotten shorter and shorter with social media and how ads have grown over time. So it's like, if you can't catch me in the first 2 seconds of the ad, I'm out. I'm not paying attention anymore. I'm doing something else. I've either scrolled away or I've opened a completely different app. I'm not even looking at it anymore.
I'll say I deal with them the same way I always have. Oh, it's an ad. I'm not paying attention already.
Yeah. Growing up, it was always, break time. Go have a snack.
Oh, what did the ads on TV think they were doing? It was like, oh, good, I can go to the bathroom now.
Literally.
Part of me like, man, okay, now I am going to say something old. Like when
you already said you were almost 40,
yeah,
so I don't think you.
But this one is like, oh god, I'm going to say this, and it's going to be like, oh, like when you go see a movie in the theater, whatever. Why don't we have the intermission thing? Which the intermission was before my time. Okay, I'm not that fucking old. That wasn't even. But I'm just saying, 3-hour movie, like halfway through, like just give an ad break so I can go pee.
Bryan, I just went and saw the Barbie movie yesterday, and one of my friends that I went with saw Oppenheimer the day before, and I was like, oh, well, how was it? And she was like, the thing is, it's a 3-hour movie, no breaks, and so if you're sitting in this theater and you're drinking this like giant soda or giant like icy or whatever, and you don't want to leave, now you're sitting for another 2.5 hours having to like piss your pants pretty much. And I was like, yeah, why don't we have intermissions anymore? Just like 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes for people to just like stretch their legs, run to the bathroom or something like that. And I was like, that's so dumb to me. Especially again, in this day and age, our attention spans are so short. 3 hours to pay attention to one thing is a long time.
Well, see, so what I think is funny is I think the reasoning for that is like, oh, that's, save those 10 minutes over X amount of movies, we can cram one more show in there, right?
Uh-huh.
But here's my thing, because the movies get so fucking long, like now, and I just don't buy shit when I go to the theater anymore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't either.
I'm like, I don't want that. Because I don't want to miss any of the movie that I paid far too much to see.
Yeah.
But I'm also not just going to sit there being uncomfortable for an hour and then barely being able to walk, and then everything hurts because I held too long. And
yeah.
This is becoming a completely different podcast.
I was just about to say, I was like, okay, we're straying further and further away from.
Yeah.
From point here.
I don't ever mind that we stray. It's because, as I always say, it's our podcast.
That's true. I'm one of those people now in movies where I just bring all my own stuff. One, because it's cheaper, and two, I just can have whatever I want. Like I went to see the Barbie movie. I pulled out a can of Diet Coke. My friend was like, "Did you bring a can of Diet Coke?" I was like, "I was not about to spend $8 for one Diet Coke here when I have like a 30-pack at home that I got for free. Why would I do that?"
Also, $8 and it's like 2/3 ice.
Exactly. She was like, "That was kind of smart." I was like, "I know." She's like 21 or 22, and I was like, "You have a little." Like, I was like, "Don't worry, Jedi." Young Padawan. I don't know. I've never seen any of the Star Wars movies. Don't ask me about it.
But... Yeah, I don't know why you went for the Star Wars one.
Because it was the first thing I could think of.
Yeah, you just butchered it. Oh, a young Jedi Padawan thing.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. What games have you been playing?
Yeah. So anyway, I since the last stream, I think I've played more Tears of the Kingdom, but honestly, have no idea. But I don't remember if I mentioned this on the last stream. I had my birthday stream and I played a bunch of old childhood games on stream, which was really, really fun. So I did that. But most recently, my sister came over and she was like, "Can we play another Nancy Drew game?" So we started the game together, and then I had to go to work. And I was like, "You can play it by yourself if you want to." She was like, "I don't know how." I was like, "It's a video game. You know how to play video game. Like, you can do it by yourself. You're fine."
Also, Nancy Drew is like beginner's course in video games.
But she was just like, "You've already played this one before, and you know what to do and what happens and blah, blah." And I was like, "Yeah, so now it's your turn to like figure it out on your own." And so I went to work.
That's the point of games.
What?
That's the point of games.
Exactly.
Is to figure out how everything works.
Exactly. And she has a Switch. She plays video games. It's not like she's never played a video game before. So I left for work and she texted me while I was at work and she was like, "I did it," in all caps. I was like, "Did you cheat?" She was like, in all caps, "No." And I said, "I'm really proud of you." And she was like, "I can't believe it was this guy." Like, just so excited. And then I got home from work and she was like, "Can we start another one?" I was like, "Oh my God, you're turning into me." Like, I've created a monster. And she was like, "I just want to play the ones you've already played." And I was like, "Yeah, but I want to play the ones I haven't played yet." But I save them for stream. And I keep telling her, I'm like, "Join me for a stream because you're clearly having a lot of fun. And I think it'd be fun if both of us were learning together." But she's kind of, she does social media. That's her job, is being an influencer. But she has never been live before. And I think that's what freaks her out about it, is like possibly messing up. And I was like,
that's half the fun.
Yeah. And I was like, "Girl, the most I get is 5 people watching me. Like, nobody is going to do or say anything, like."
Also, if someone says some shit that crosses the line, you drop the ban hammer. It's like,
Exactly. So I
Have
keep
fun
trying
online,
to
kids. Protect your fucking self.
I keep trying to get her to do. I'm currently streaming Nancy the Silent Spy, which is about Nancy figuring out how who killed her mom. But
That's not heavy at all.
it's actually much weirder than that. I'm very confused actually at what the story actually is at the moment. But I keep telling her to join me for the next one, and she's like maybe, which means no. So, but that's what I've been up to. What have you been playing, Bri?
I started playing Persona 4 again.
I'm not done with 3.
I know you're not.
I'm sorry, how
So
long has it been?
a while, because I finished 5 when you started 3, although I was pretty close to the end of 5.
But no, you were playing, you were either I think you were replaying 3. And so I was like, oh, we're playing at the same time. And you were ahead of me.
I know, but what I'm saying is when you started 3, I was still finishing 5, and then I went straight to 3.
Oh, I see.
I got all the way through 3.
Yeah.
And I am now caught up to where I was on my PC.
Yeah.
With 4.
Got it.
Which is just past the halfway point.
Yeah, I know I don't have that much longer in the game. Like I could probably finish it if I really wanted to in like 2 sittings. And I keep telling myself because I still enjoy it. I still want to go back to it. But it's one of those things where I come home from work. I don't even work long. I work 6-7 hours, but I work at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I come home, I take a nap, I wake up, it's suddenly 7 p.m. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna roll over, but I just roll over and grab my Switch. You know, I'm just like, well, I'm in bed, I'm just gonna game from here. Whereas like my PC is in my basement, so I have to come all the way downstairs, which is so hard. But
well, I mean, it does explain the whole. I mean, it's easier because everything's in my room.
Mm-hmm.
So I just roll out of bed and get in the gaming chair.
Yeah. My gaming chair is several stairs down. But I
will say, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I do plan on finishing it. I have a couple of free days this coming week, and I was like, okay, Maggie, you're gonna sit down because I start my internship in like a month. So I was like, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna finish the game. You don't need to start 4, you don't need to start 5, you just need to finish this one. Okay.
I mean, eventually you do have to.
Well, yes, yes.
But yeah, you need to finish 3 so I can finally talk about anything about 3.
I know.
And once again, not to give anything away in 4, but so I had this realization playing it is that 4's got my favorite like that extra mechanic where you can get your personas like the shuffle time. So that like it was in 3 and whatever, and because it was the portable, they added that extra stupid one. But
which one did they add?
The one where they don't stop and they just keep going.
Oh, yes.
They didn't have that in the first one.
I see.
But they did have like a couple different things where they would, shuffle them around and then they'd actually go off the screen and come back down.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to pay attention to what cards you were looking at, and like say if it went up 3rd, it would come down 3rd.
Yeah. Okay.
But they'd come from all so it was just extra shuffles.
Got it.
So,
okay.
So this one, you don't have a shuffle. Well, they still call it shuffle time, but you see all the tarot cards, and there's a lot more of them now too. Like there's stuff that does bad things now too.
Did they have that?
They might have, but not to the extent that
I
4
see. Yeah.
Because like you can get one where one of the cards will give you 2 extra cards, but half the money. And so the point in 4 is to try and get all the cards, because then you get a bonus, which guarantees you get a shuffle time next time, and gives you 2 extra cards.
I see.
So like the goal is to keep getting, and like you can get masses of cards, and like as you get further in the game, like there's stuff like there's one that'll give you 3 cards, but no experience.
Oh.
And then you have cards that'll give you 1 extra card, but like it'll get rid of one of the cards you already picked up, and then one that'll get rid of one of the cards that's on the board. And so I like, because it's kind of a little puzzle to like, okay, I got 3 draws, and this does this and this, but I want to make sure I get these 2 cards before I do this, and then sometimes it'll fuck you because it'll flip the card that you needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 4 I think has the best one of any of them. I like it.
Okay.
5 system, they changed it. It was cool. It was cool that they tried something new. I still really just liked doing the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is kind of weird.
I mean, again, I've only played 3, so that's all, and it's portable, so like I can't really base it off of what like the original game was like. I will say I'm tempted to, after I finish portable, if they bring the revamped version coming out to Game Pass within the next couple of years, I will probably replay it like that because it looks amazing to be able to actually move around and like see everything.
Well, you get all the little videos too.
Yeah,
that they had to cut, which sucked because those are always fun little. They're good little videos. They're like a solid it's like you're watching fucking anime.
Yeah.
Like they're done so well, and you only get like the opening video in that one. I think there might be like a small one when you finish the game.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I remember watching someone do a little bit of gameplay of the original game from the girl, because you can choose either to play as the guy or the girl, and it was from the girl's perspective, but it was just the very beginning. But she was playing portable, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, they cut out this scene. Oh my gosh, they cut out this scene." And I was like, "Wait, what do you mean?" I was like, "I haven't seen anything." But I love the game mechanics of the game. Because I like kind of the like collecting aspect of games, like Pokemon, how it's like gotta catch them all, and like in this one it's like mixing and creating new personas and like all that stuff. Like I have a really fun time doing it. Am I good at it? No. But but I'm having a good time doing it. And I'll read like forums and stuff like that where it's like, okay, to get the best of the best, you need to have this one, and this one, and this one, and you're gonna get them by doing this. And I go, this one's pretty. I'm like, this one is really pretty, and she hasn't failed me yet. And I'm like level 60, and my persona's like level 30.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you need to...
They're not like that anymore. They're not, but I just remember I was like carrying one around with me for a long time because I was like, well, this one has all my like electric moves. And I would try to find a persona to like merge it with, and it kept taking away all my electric moves. And I was like, no, I just have to keep it. And obviously it was a low level to begin with. So it's like, it's gone up a bajillion levels, but it's still a low level compared to everything else that I have. And I'm like, eh.
Well, especially too, so you won't get the strongest electric skills out of it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, merge. Merge, please.
Yeah, I'm always like, so I kind of have one of those right now where, so once again, with the cards in this one, there's 2 really good cards you can get. One that'll just literally give a level to the persona you have. Like, just boom, here's a level. And then another one that'll level up its skills.
Oh.
So I'm using one that I got at level, I think that's like level 40 when I merged it. But I've leveled up all the skills, like to the point where like I can't grab that card because it'll be like, there's no skills you can level up.
Yeah.
And it's level 64 now, and it's just like wrecking shop because there's other cards that'll boost its stats. And I'm sitting here like, well, it's got max skills, and I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna merge this one because like in 4, that can be a viable strategy.
Yeah.
Because they've given you the thing to do that. So you don't always have to be merging them. But I like to try and I like to just get the new personas. I'm like, oh, is that a new persona?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like filling out my, what is it called? The
compendium?
Yes, thank you. I like filling that out because again, I like that collecting aspect of things. And again, in 3, when they give you where it's like, oh, now you can merge 4 and 5 of them together and you can create like these ones. I'm always like, and I will say, I just completely forgot that I could just like buy back any of the personas that I've already had.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Well, and it's like to merge them because it's like, oh yeah, I can buy this one, merge it with this one, make a better one. Or if I need to like use this one to forge a weapon, I can just go buy it again. Like, it's not gone forever. I can get this exact persona back. And didn't forge weapons for so long because I was like, oh, I don't want to give up any of these ones. They're so good. And I'm like, Maggie, you dumbass. You're not giving them up. You can literally go buy them. And I have so much money.
As long as you make sure to register them before doing anything with them.
Oh, I do that all the time. Well, especially, and it's really nice because the alleyway is right next to where you need to forge the weapons, right? So it's
I've done that one a few times. Been like, oh, I'm going to do that. And then I went, oh, I didn't save that one. And it gained like 3 levels.
Ugh.
Womp womp.
I'm one of those constant savers in that game because on my computer it freezes sometimes and it's crashed before. So I'm someone who is like, new scene, save. At the school, save.
Oh,
in a different room, save.
I save constantly too. You want to know my best one though? So this is in 4, and I was playing a really long session, and I was in one of the dungeons, and I was in there for a long time, and I came out, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm just going to go into the Velvet Room and do all my shit there, and then I'm going to save and call it a night.
Mm-hmm.
Went in the Velvet Room, did all my stuff there. As I went to leave, the game crashed. So I lost 6 hours.
Oh.
And it was the end of the night, so I'm like, well, that fucking sucks.
I would have cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have started sobbing.
I was just like, okay. I'm like, well, save before going into the... Like, I thought of all things, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna have a problem with it after the Velvet Room.
Yeah, it's like, what? There's nothing going on in this room.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally the only crash I've had the whole time I've been playing it.
I think I've had it crash twice, but it freezes up sometimes, especially when I go to save, like not save from the save points within the game. Like when I open up the menu and I go to save through that way, it's like, and it freezes for like 30 seconds or something. I'm like, please, 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 please.
Not like this.
Not like this. But I will say it is really annoying. And I understand that it is technically an older game, but like also wasn't this a remake of the original one to begin with? So
yeah, that's
the fact that there wasn't
version.
Yeah, but the fact that there's not like a autosave feature or something that's like
it's not an Atlas thing.
I see.
Even in 5, they stay old school with it.
Which I guess like maybe is also part of the fun, but I'm not having fun.
Well, I will say they've at least got this one going for you. Is that so? Have you ever like died and it's like, oh, you can restart at this level?
Yeah,
you know, like at the beginning. Yeah, it didn't do that before.
Oh, in the original.
Yeah. So now we're getting into Persona shit. And I love Persona, so I'll talk about Persona all day.
Welcome to the Persona stream.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I have Persona, and it's FES, I think, or is it PES? I think it's FES.
That's 3, right?
It's 3, yeah. So it's Persona 3, but the version of it is FES. So that's the one that came to Europe and the States.
Okay.
Which is technically the expanded and improved version of Persona 3 that was only in Japan.
Okay.
And then the one we're playing now is Persona Portable, which is a remake of the FES version for portable systems. So technically the 3rd iteration. And then they're releasing a full remake. So that'll be the 4th version.
Oh my gosh.
And so like the Persona 4, there's Persona 4, which gets released, but the one we will have on Game Pass is actually Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at because I had them downloaded.
That again is the expanded version of Persona 4. And then same thing with 5. I forget what 5's called, but 5 is the expanded version that we have as well.
I just saw this because I was going to talk about it at the end of the stream, but because we're talking about Persona, I guess we're here now. Cool. the Persona 5 that we have on Game Pass right now is Persona 5 Royal. But
yes,
I was looking at like what's coming to Game Pass or what's new, and now we have Persona 5 Tactica. So
so that's the squad-based tactic. That's a new game.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's also Persona 5 Strikers, which is a more it's a real-time combat game, but you still use the magic and your personas and everything. But that's extra story. That's a different game too. And then Tactical will also tell extra story
Okay.
in that Persona 5 universe.
I thought you said more fursonas, and I was like, wait, we got furries in Persona 5? I said, okay. I mean, technically we have furries in Persona 3 if you really think about it, but I was like, okay, Persona, sure.
I have to very specifically say nothing here.
Okay, all right.
Play your games.
Play your game. Now I'm looking at Persona 2 and just Persona because I obviously have never played those. It's on I have a PSP.
So I did try those through an emulator back in the day.
A Schmemmer.
A Schmemmer. That's totally Schmeagle.
Schmeagle. You couldn't say legal.
I wasn't saying legal. I was saying a word that has legal in it.
But it's kind of sick, you know what I mean? It's kind of
legal. You know that Beastie Boys album, License to Legal? Anyway. If there were any rails, we never found them.
We never did.
Yeah, I was not a huge fan of those. Like, they definitely showed their age. I was happy that I went back and tried them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, oh, 3 is so much better than this.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I'm fairly certain because when I was doing them, they were translations. Because 1 and 2, I don't think ever released outside of Japan.
Got it. That makes sense. Because I was going to say, I feel like they would have 2 and 1 on Game Pass if they could. Because I feel like when they do things like this where it's a full series, they would have them. But
yeah, generally. But also those never got like the extra editions, which is how I'm assuming they didn't leave Japan.
Yeah.
Because like I said, so Persona 5 Royal, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
Royal.
the one we have on
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the expanded one, and that's the one that released to Europe and the States.
Got it.
Yeah, we always get the extra content, so I'm not complaining.
I'm not either, man.
We also have to usually wait a couple years after it's fucking released, unfortunately.
But for the extra content.
Yeah, but I think honestly with how well they've done, especially 5, like the fact that 5's getting all these extra games.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 was a huge breakout for the Persona series. So we might just get 6. Like everybody might just get 6 now.
Woohoo!
And 6 is being worked on, but there's no date for it.
I see.
And like I said, they're still finishing up Tactics. They're doing the remake of 3. But yeah, they're working on 6.
Well, that fits right into into the news of this podcast. Telling the news.
Well, I guess. Yeah, I'm just like I'm gonna finish 4. And I don't do it often, but I'm going to fucking buy full price day 1 the remake of Persona 3.
I am kind of tempted.
I absolutely love that game. And I'll just be like, shut up and take my money. I don't care.
Yeah, I am. Because
playing the problem with playing the portable version did not scratch the itch correctly.
Well, that's what, and I'm a little upset that that's the first time I played 3, but also I didn't know any better, and I was like, I've heard so many things about it, and it was right there, basically for free. So I was like, okay, great, let me just start it up, and I was hooked. I was in it to win it.
Well, the thing is, it's still 3. The story is still there. The characters are still there. You know, all the stuff that makes it a great game is there. It's just, there's all these little extras, you know?
Yeah, and again, it's portable. Like, it's just you hover your mouse.
But you can't have any whipped cream or any cherries on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. It's like, it's still a banana split, and I'm going to love it. But, man, I would like some whipped cream.
But there's something better out there.
Yeah, I know there's better out there. Yeah, so I would absolutely... And same thing with 6. I'm like, please release 6 in the States the same day.
I'm currently, I mean, I haven't opened the game in a couple of months now, but the last thing I remember doing was trying to romance all three of the roommates. I was like, somebody, one of you is gonna fall in love with me, and if it's all three, that's even better.
I'm fairly certain you can only pick one in those games.
Well, okay, so obviously I've cheated. And I'll look up like what to say to people.
That is not cheating with Persona.
Okay.
I have 4 tabs open for different shit for Persona
me
4.
Too.
Like, listen, I got over this playing Persona blind shit a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh god, no. Some like either like I think I know how a character's reacting, and I'm like, this is what you should say, and then I'm like, that didn't give me any relationship points.
And then they're like,
and now I have to waste idiot. 2 more days with you.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm like, I don't have 2 fucking days to waste with you. Time is so limited in these games.
No, literally. I will say, I mean, if you're listening to this podcast at this point, I'm assuming you've played the game. But
if not, go ahead and move forward to probably 45 minutes in.
But I guess kind of spoiler, I guess, I don't know. What is her name? The girl who cooks, she's like really shy. She's the one, she can't battle. She just is like your healer.
Or
she Fuka? Can like tell. Yeah, Fuka. When I was looking up what to say to her.
Yeah, no, I don't play it too much. I had to go through the Rolodex in my head. I'm like, she's got blue hair and she's short and she's shy.
There's only so many of them.
I mean, there's a lot when you played all 3.
On the wiki that I use, it didn't say anything about her being romanceable, like nothing at all. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's just not, because whatever, like that's fine. Maybe you just have to romance Mitsuru and what is the pink-haired girl's name? Oh my god. The other one.
Oh, don't do that to me, because that's my waifu.
What is her name?
I can't think of her name right now.
We're just going to pretend we absolutely do know
Yuffie?
Her. Yuka? No, because this is what I used to get Fuka and this girl's name mixed up, and I would call them Yuka.
I keep wanting to say Chie, but Chie is from 4.
No, it starts with a Y. You're right. Anyway, it said that you could romance her, but not Fuka. And I was playing the game, and she's absolutely romanceable. It was like, she's growing closer to you. Like, now your relationship's stronger, blah, blah. And I was like, wait a minute.
Yukari.
Yukari, that's what it is. Yes. I was like, the wiki needs to be updated because I definitely can romance her.
Well, also, you got to make sure you're looking at the right game. A lot of the wikis will say
that's a hard thing
Persona
too.
3, and you got to make sure you're looking at the Persona 3 portable.
I know.
Because same thing with 4 is sometimes something seems off. And I'm like,
wrong one.
This is Persona 4.
Wrong one.
Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot off most of the time, but there's definitely little things here and there that I'm like, that wasn't right. My favorite one was looking up a classroom question, and I'm like, what? That's not the question for this day. Well, that's not the question at all. What the fuck is going on?
Where am I?
And then I had to go back and add Golden in, and I was like,
Oh, I see.
I see. But yeah, I think the classroom questions are always different because that way, if you happen to remember all the answers to the questions, because why fucking...
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they would have to change the questions of all things between the games, but
they
sure do.
They said now it's really different. So if you play again, you can't just cheat through the the questions again. Except I can because the internet exists.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm like, I don't know why you bother changing those. For the 2 people that remember it.
Yeah, literally.
Like, some of that shit is so esoteric, I'm looking at it and I'm like, no high schooler would know the answer to this.
Is gonna know.
Oh yeah, news, huh?
I get okay, yeah, and that's the end of our
30-minute episode, huh, Maggie?
Of our
30-minute episode, huh?
Persona talk.
Like 35 minutes.
Sure.
We had the intro.
We had the intro, we had my games, and then you mentioned Persona, and we just
Yeah, you're not wrong. So, okay, this one I just think is funny. So last podcast we talked about the Borderlands movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has a release date now.
Oh my god, it does?
Yes.
When?
August 9th, 2024.
Oh, I was gonna say of this year? I was like, bro, that's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So apparently the news came out at Comic-Con.
Okay.
Which basically means the news came out like very shortly after we recorded that episode.
They what if they listened to it? What if they listened to the podcast and they were like,
you think Eli Roth is one of the 8 people listening to this podcast?
Yes. He could be. You
know what?
know.
7, because one of them's me. So
and then there's our resident editor.
Yeah, but Candle is a legit listener.
I know he is.
I only pull myself out because I obviously I'm going to listen to it. It's my podcast. Well, it's our podcast.
Yes.
So obviously I'm going to listen to it. So I'm not counting myself when I get the stats every week. You know, like I'm like, yeah, shit, one of those is me. I don't fucking care about that one. Anyway. So
listen to our podcast.
Yeah, woo! Like and subscribe or whatever the things you're supposed to say. Yeah, so it's coming out. There's still no trailer though.
Okay.
And also, like the way they changed the plot is stupid, and I'm not gonna get into it. It's just really stupid. And Borderlands 3 sucks.
Yeah. We did it.
And then, boo, boo, boo. In esports news, this one's just the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Esports League has banned Crocs.
What? Okay. For why?
They put out a new dress code for the competitors, and one of the things on the dress code is they're considering Crocs to be open-toed shoes, which I guess are not allowed.
Okay.
So they can't wear Crocs anymore. I'm like, yeah, while you're on stage doing your video games, you best not be comfortable. And they also banned jean shorts. That was another one. I didn't read the whole thing.
Oh my
there were just
god.
a couple. Yeah. Because they want to look professional.
Okay.
I'm like, really? Okay, I get it. It's a bunch of douchebags that throw millions of dollars into this money pit that doesn't actually make you money. Whatever. But if you want gamers to watch the game, just let people fucking wear clothes.
Just let people be people.
Like, I mean, I game barefoot. If I was in the esports league, I'd be like, I'm not wearing fucking shoes up here, bitch. That's not how I game. I'm like, no. I gotta work on like 100, which means I'm gonna wear what I want.
Exactly. What the heck? What a weird, like,
yeah.
What? Just.
I know. It's
also how is it
also why it caught my eye.
They're literally they have holes in them, sure, but they're literally closed.
I mean, well, you can get the completely covered Crocs that they make for people who work in restaurants that can't have holes in their shoes.
Exactly. What if Crocs sues?
I mean, I don't think they give a shit unless Crocs decides to sponsor. And then they'll change it, and it'll be like, you have to wear Crocs.
Oh my god.
Dress codes are stupid.
They are
anyway.
Very stupid.
They
Absolutely.
perpetuate so many stereotypes. Like, it's the same thing about like, oh, you can't have any tattoos showing, and your piercings offend people. The fact that those things offend people offend me.
No, literally.
So what are you gonna do about that one now?
I've had family members. I have piercings and I have tattoos, and I've had family members literally be like, "And so, how are you gonna get a job with those?" How are you gonna really make it in your career if you have those? Okay, I chose to be an art therapist. Do you know
If
what
an art
people look
therapist
like?
didn't have tattoos, I wouldn't
They're
fucking
not
trust them.
trusted. Exactly.
Like, it's like, what do
Exactly.
you mean my barista has no piercings?
Exactly.
You don't make good coffee. Fuck you.
And this is a side note, but like it's the same thing with I used to watch Ink Master all the time, and there was a guy on one season who didn't have any tattoos, and he was a tattoo artist, and everyone was like, nobody trusts this guy to be a good artist because he literally doesn't have any tattoos. How are you going to
Yeah.
tattoo people and not have any yourself? But it's one of those things where like I was so nervous about going into the program because I really wanted like hand tattoos and stuff like that. And the amount of people in my program that are tattooed from head to toe was astronomical, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be." And I don't want to be anywhere where they're going to why would I go somewhere where they're going to judge me for that? Why would I apply somewhere and they're like, "Well, you got to cover up your tattoos," and be like, "Okay, yeah, I'll do that for you." Fuck you. Why would I do that?
Or I'll go somewhere else and have fun with your less qualified people.
Exactly. And it's this like gaming is gaming. I understand wanting to be professional. Don't get me wrong. I understand that the gaming industry has grown exponentially and is taken
Not
a
esports though. Boom, nailed it.
well, okay.
I mean,
Anyway, but like gaming has become more respected, I think, over the course of however many years than it has been in the past now because people can actually make
it
money off of it,
definitely
right?
has.
Yeah, because people can actually label it as a job because people make money off of it. But it's like gaming is supposed to be fun and you're supposed to be fun. People don't watch boring people who game. People want to be entertained. It's
Well,
entertainment. You know what I mean. People want to play games and watch games to be entertained. And so, like, if you have a really cool style and look about you, you're more likely to be watched, probably, because you're more interesting, because you look more unique, because you're having more fun, whatever, XYZ. So it's like for these things, again, Crocs or like whatever, like any of those, it's like, shut the fuck. I'm here to game. I'm here to have a good time.
just let me game, bro. Just let me
Let
game.
just let me game, bro.
No, but I mean, there has been a lot more acceptance because, like, if I tell most people now, like, oh, what are you doing in your spare time? I'm like, oh, I like to play video games. People don't bat an eye at it. When I was 20 and I said that, oh, it was like, oh, you're scum of the earth. Go fuck yourself. Oh, you must be like a burnout piece of trash. Oh, you're 20 and you're playing video games. That's for kids. And I'm like, go fuck yourself.
I literally wrote I think I've mentioned on the podcast before, I wrote a research paper about using video games as like a therapeutic tactic. And I was so scared to write this paper because I was like, people are going to think I'm a joke. People are going to think this is like not real because why would anyone want to do this? And my class, like I went to a barbecue that some people in my class were throwing, and someone brought their partner, and I was like, "Oh, hi, Maggie," and their partner literally was like, "Oh my God, you wrote the paper on The Sims 4 about using it with like people with depression and anxiety. That's so cool." And I was like, "People are talking about my paper, like people are talking about the research that I want to do," and I was like, "Oh, people are taking it so seriously." And think that it's so interesting and so cool. And then on the flip side, I told an older family member that I wrote this paper and that I would love to be someone who actually I was very into research when I was in my undergrad, and then I kind of fell off. And now that people are accepting the research that I actually want to do, I was like, oh, I would love to go into research and be one of the, not founding people to look at how video games and therapy work, but someone who could be at the forefront of it and, have a say in how things go and practice and whatever. And I was telling one of my family members about it, and they were like, okay, well, are you sure about that? Like, maybe there should be more research before you go into it. And I was like, no, I want to be the person who researches it. I want to be the one that tries and fails, and I want to be the one that figures out something that works. And they're like, well, there are other things you could do. And I was like, okay.
That is definitely such an old mentality.
Yeah.
Well, but why don't you just be a follower instead?
Yeah.
Why are you making noise? Why do you look differently? Why don't you just look like a clone and do what we tell you to do? Don't be unique. That's not good. I mean, I had, you know how much advice I got the first time I went to college that I wish I never listened to because I wanted to go and get an English degree because I liked writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I capitulated to pressure and went for something else and never finished because I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah.
You know, no, that's definitely that mentality of like, don't make waves. Like, don't stand out. What are you doing? And it's like,
well, and I think obviously older generations, right, technology is growing at an exponential rate, which means video games, like I mentioned, are growing at an exponential rate. And like you said,
how do you fix the internets on my phone?
20 years ago, if you were like, oh, I play video games in my free time, it's like, okay, well, you have no friends then. That's great. And now it's like, oh, yeah, I play video games in my free time. Older adults are still going to have that mentality because that's how they viewed it this whole time. Whereas people within our generation or younger are like, oh, that's so sick. What are you playing? What are you doing? Like, you know, whatever, blah, blah. And especially in my field, I think I had a meeting with my internship recently and I was like, yeah, I want to put in my bio that I am interested in video game therapy. Maybe not that I practice it, but I would love if people wanted to try it with me because I want to see, you know, if it works. And my internship site was thrilled because they were like, yeah, not a lot of people are doing that in Chicago. So like, why not try it out? So, and I think it's going to reach like a lot of teenagers and kids and stuff like that to be able to speak a language that they understand. Like one of my friends is a therapist and she works with a kid and he was like, you know what? You're the greatest therapist ever. And she goes, really? Why is that? And he goes, because you know what Roblox is? and she was like, great. So it's like, you know, it's something that people can relate to. And if it's something that can also help people, why the fuck not? Why keep it from them? So, and that's my rant.
Well, and also too, it's like, you know, when you talk about your internship, like being excited about it. Yeah, because you know how many fucking people are probably giving them the same bullshit every day, and they're like, oh, good, another look at the difference between Jungian and Freudian theories and on this and that. Oh my God, this is only like the 30th one I've had to read this week. You know, like from that point of view, it's the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, because if you stand out, whether like anyone who has any type of vision in their fields should look at that and go, oh, you have a different idea. Well, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Why do I want to hear the same idea I've heard 30 fucking times?
Exactly. And that's
don't say that to most large corporations. No, that's just not how they roll.
That was my internship. We just had this meeting and the person who's helping us write like our bios and stuff for Psychology Today and whatever, was like, we understand that we do the same work that a lot of other therapists do because obviously, at least you would hope that all therapists, their goal is to help people.
One would hope.
Yeah. And she was like, but you know, we want to make it as uniquely you as possible. We don't want another profile saying like, I'm here to help you be your best self or your most authentic self. It's like, how are you going to do that? Why are you different than everybody else? What is going to draw people into you so that you can get clients and you can help them in your most authentic way while keeping with them and stuff like that? And so I think, you know, gaming is something that, and again, like, sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm going on my own tangent here, but a lot of people in therapy get like quote unquote homework, right? Where it's like, okay, look over this sheet and tell me what, next time we meet, tell me what your values are. Tell me what you identify with most on this list. How could you apply it to XYZ? Whatever. And how do you think someone would feel if it's like, hey, you know what? Do you have Game Pass? Great. This game is free on there. Your homework, go play it for an hour. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think the why I gave you this assignment to do. How do you relate to it? What are you taking away from it and stuff like that? That's way more fun than reading a list of like 40 words and being like, well, I guess I kind of relate to this. I guess this kind of pertains to me, you know? So
yeah,
it's like,
I would treat that list the same way I treated the homework in high school.
Wouldn't do it.
Exactly. And I'd probably skip the next session. Just like I did with my classes.
But
yeah, no, that profile of I want to help you be the best you. Yeah, that's also the profile that snake oil salesmen use.
yeah.
Take this capsule. It's a rare herb only found in this place. It'll heal you. How do you know that? Trust me. I'm trying to help you be the best you, buddy.
Buddy, pal, friend. We're friends, right? You can call me a friend.
We're pals, aren't we, pal?
Pal.
Awkward silence.
Awkward silence. Sorry, I got really into. We talked about Crocs, and I said, "You know how we could change this system?"
Hey, I'm never going to stop the anarchist in you. Trust me.
I know you won't.
No, I definitely won't. That is a fire I gladly fueled.
I had one piece of news, but I want to make sure that I am actually correct on the news. That's
an important piece of news. Well, not according. You know what? Let's not get into that.
Okay. Yes. So in my news, because as the majority of people know that are listening to this, I'm kind of the like cozy gamer, indie gamer voice of the of the podcast. This game that has been, if you're in the like cozy gaming scene, this game that has been on everybody's what is the word I'm looking for? Mind? Watch list?
Wish
Whatever.
list?
That. Called Sticky Business. Words are hard. It's called Sticky Business, and it's about having your own sticker shop and like making your own stickers and selling your own stickers. It came out on July 17th. So it's already out, and right now it's 10% off on Steam. It's on sale on...
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. It's on sale on a bunch of different platforms. I don't know off the top of my head right now, but what I'm looking at right now is that it's 10% off on Steam, which makes it $8.99 at the moment. So if anybody is interested in a cozy game like that, where it's obviously very low stakes. It's just... You make stickers, you pack them, you make your own store, you make your own plant. Like, it's literally like you own your own sticker shop in the year 2023. In post-pandemic time, really, where it's like, I'm just selling it online, you know? Like, so it looks very, very cute. I plan on getting it eventually. So, yeah, that's what everyone, at least from the standpoint that I have of being in the cozy gaming community, that is one that people are very excited about. And it's out now, so why not?
Why not?
Why not?
And I don't have any other news or games that you should get because I still need to fix my PC, so
Oh, God.
I didn't mean to literally do it.
I'm so sorry. Oh, my God. That's really embarrassing.
Don't die during a recording.
That's really embarrassing. I had a point to make and now I forgot because I got so embarrassed.
You okay there, buddy?
Yeah. We're hoping your PC gets fixed ASAP. Because it's been how long now?
It's been quite a while. So we kind of have a plan. I just have to figure out if I can do all the editing on the laptop.
Got it.
And if that's a thing, then... If not, then I don't know. But that's sad news, and I don't...
It'll get figured out, and we're going to be very positive about it. Because it is going to get fixed. Even if you need to spend a little money.
Yeah. Yeah, well. On that bright, happy news.
Anyway, stickers.
Stickers!
That's the last thing we talked about, and definitely
that's it. Yep, that's it. And I think that's a good spot to end it on is stickers.
Yeah.
They're pretty. They stick on stuff.
They do.
I always put them on my laptop covers. Not like cover, but like the lid.
Did I ever give you stickers that I was selling?
I don't think so.
That can be discussed after the podcast.
It can. On that note, get some stickers in your life.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
Love you.
Bye-bye.